What is up, guys? We're back again with another Ultra Rumble video, and today we're talking about something I think the community can all agree on. We're missing a lot of characters in My Hero Ultra Rumble. Don't get me wrong, the game has a great cast of characters currently and offers a lot of diverse gameplay options for a number of playstyles, but it's also limited in a lot of ways. I'll break down where I think more focus should be placed and how that can help the game grow even more going forward. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to drop a like if you enjoy these kind of video discussions and stick around to the end to learn how you can win my free crystal giveaway. And with all that said, let's jump into it. Let's start with the villains, because honestly this one hurts the most. Right now there are only 9 villains in the entire game, and 2 of those are all for one. That's insane when you think about how many amazing villains exist in My Hero Academia. They could easily make additions like Stain, Spinner, Kendo Rappa, or Muscular. Each of these characters would bring something completely unique to the game. Stain could be a fast, close-range fighter focused on bleed and stun effects. Spinner could be a brawler who uses melee and ranged attacks using his blades and improvised weapons. And Kendo Rappa would just be pure chaos if he gets in close. Muscular would also be an absolute tank that should fit right into the meta. Then we have characters like Redestro and Geten, who both have crazy potential when it comes to visual design and gameplay. And it would be great to also see movie villains like Nine or Dark Might at some point, but I think there could be licensing issues on that front. Even still, the lack of villain characters in the game is glaring, and hopefully they plan to address that at some point, and not by giving us remixes on the existing villains like the new All For One or rumored Shigaraki skill set. Characters like Lady Nagant and Gentle Criminal might not even be classified as villains in the game, so we'll have to wait and see how they're handled once they arrive. Now let's talk about the pro heroes, because they're actually lacking more than the villains. Right now we only have 7 pro heroes in the game, which is kinda crazy considering how important they are to the series. We have Mirko and Midnight, who we're hoping to see show up since they've had small amounts of data in the files for a while, but characters like Best Jeanist and Fatgum would also be great. There are a ton of other characters who deserve a spot in the game too, like Gang Orca, Gran Torino, and Nighteye, who seem like no-brainers since they already have models and animations from the My Heroes Once Justice games. There has to be a better balance between getting popular characters into the game and doing what makes sense in a lot of ways, and they may have to consider changing their format for releasing characters, which I'll touch on later. But let's switch over to the students, because this is the biggest group in the entire game, but even this category is lacking major additions. Right now we have 11 Class 1A students, but really it's just 10 since there are 2 Dekus. We also have just 3 Class 1B students, and the big 3 make up the rest of the students on the roster, which leaves a ton of fan favorites missing. From Class 1A, we're still waiting for Tokiyami, Jiro, Mina, Sero, and Mineta, who all have had some data in the file since the launch of the game, and now that we've seen the entire Class 1A student roster was included in My Heroes All's Justice, that opens the door for characters we initially thought would be pipe dream additions like Ojiro, Shoji, Hagakure, and even Koda, who all deserve a spot in the game like this. Class 1B has it the worst of any group because most of their class isn't present in any of the other My Hero games, which means if they were to be added, they need to be built from the ground up. Tetsu luckily already has everything he would need from My Heroes Once Justice, and they also brought him back in My Hero All's Justice, and for anyone who's like, he'll just be a Kirishima clone, I'll be making a video to shut down that mindset in the future. But characters like Pony and Mudman would be perfect additions to Ultra Rumble, and a lot of the other students could easily have unique mechanics and playstyles. Obviously that part of the equation comes down to finances and resources available, since building new models and animations goes outside the typical parameters for making new characters for the game, but it is a direction I think would be worth exploring. Then you have the Shiketsu High students. Fans have been asking for these characters since the early seasons of the game. They would instantly bring a different dynamic to the game with their quirks, and if the developers really want to dig deeper, they could even include students from Ketsubusu High like Yoshindo, aka Gran, because adding a character who can cause earthquakes could change how we play around structures and terrain. Even with everyone I listed, I know that still only scratches the surface of great characters who fans know would be amazing to see in Ultra Rumble, and I know the current schedule of releasing 7 characters a year sounds pretty low, but when you consider how each new character changes the game's meta in some way, it makes sense why they spaced them out. Characters can also get pretty expensive if you're low on roll tickets, so giving free-to-play players a chance to keep up is also a part of that decision making. But I honestly hope they can explore adding characters in bundles in the future, whether on a new license or simply by updating what's already in place, or by dropping a few of them in the free character ticket pool. At the end of the day, My Hero Ultra Rumble still has a huge amount of potential and the foundation is already solid. We just need more of these kinds of characters to make the game feel complete. Let me know in the comments which characters you want to see added next. Do you think they should focus on adding more villains, heroes, or students? And if you haven't already, go check out my other video to enter for a chance to win those free crystals. I'll announce the winner in tomorrow's video, so be on the lookout. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one.